This is Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We're joined today by Steve Zimmer. He is the president of the board of the Los Angeles Unified School District. And I think it's fair to say the news is good. When we look at graduation rates, in 2010, LAUSD was graduating about 62.5%. Today we're at 75%. That's a nice jump.
It's an important jump.
That's a nice jump.
It's an important jump, and it's indicative of improvement across the spectrum. It's classroom by classroom, school by school. We're seeing all across our district, which means all across Los Angeles.
Of course.
We're seeing real improvement for real students in real classrooms all the time.
One of the reasons I understand we saw this jump was because of a credit recovery program.
Yep.
Which some say is inspired and some say maybe is a bit aggressive.
Okay.
Talk to us about credit recovery, the pluses, the minuses, and how we find that sweet spot.
Sure. So the first thing is that we want students to succeed in their first time learning a subject. That's our goal.
Sure.
That's our target. That doesn't always happen. And while we're continually moving towards that, we can't have students kind of suffer the consequences of that. So you have to have credit recovery programs. You have to have programs that give second and third chances for learning. We are trying to find the right balance.
I have to ask you though, I must say I'm a little flummoxed that people are attacking credit recovery. I mean, these are kids.
These are kids.
You know, and if we can get them that diploma through a credit recovery program, that's rigorous.
Yes. As long as we maintain rigor, we have to understand that kids learn differently. And especially when you're looking at math, kids learn math in many different ways. And if they are able to learn it better through an online or blended program, then we should be supporting that and making sure it has the rigor to it, but making sure they have the chance to do that.
The statistics are also impressive in that, as I understand it, this was a year when the math requirement became more rigorous. I think you were requiring Algebra 2, is that right?
All of the requirements became more rigorous. This is about really changing our mindset in terms of what our kids, 83% of whom live in poverty, are actually capable of. And we believed when we set in place the A through G and the higher rigorous standards, when you set those expectations high and you give our kids the right support, they are going to meet those expectations. So everybody expected catastrophe. What we got was very good results, which we expected because we know our kids. We have to do better, and we have to have all hands on deck to keep supporting our kids.
At the same time, there were different forces moving, and the high school exit exam had been suspended.
Yes.
Talk to us about how that may have played into this, if at all.
Yeah, very little. We had very high ultimate pass rates of the high school exit exam. It was only a handful of students who weren't passing it. And so we are going to need to show to our constituencies, we're going to need to show to the folks that we need to support public education, that not only are more and more students graduating, but they are graduating college and career ready. We need to show to employers, any graduate from LAUSD is the person you want in your company or corporation.
And as I understand it, part of the reason why that exit exam was eliminated was as a result of its lack of lining up with Common Core.
That's absolutely correct.
And so let's talk about the new Common Core standardized test. It's called the California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress. We just got the results. And look, progress is good. And so in LAUSD, for the English portion of the exam, we saw students exceeding or meeting expectations up 6 points to 39%.
That's right.
In math, we saw exceeding or meeting expectations at LAUSD up 4 points to 29%. Amen, that we're up. But 39% in English, 29% in math, not so good.
Totally unacceptable. And there's always going to be an adjustment period when you have a new test. But what this shows us is we have a long way to go before we are breaking through for all kids. Let me talk a little bit about some of the results that you didn't mention, and that is that at least on standardized tests, we still have a huge achievement gap.
Can we talk about that, sir?
Sure.
Because you speak the truth.
Absolutely.
Let's look at Asian American students in English, and this is a statewide number. they're exceeding and meeting standards at a 76% rate, whereas Latino students are at a 37% rate, African Americans at a 31% rate. In math, Asian American students 72%, Latinos 24%, African Americans 18%.
Yeah.
That's an achievement gap that's the size of Montana.
Sure, and so and the same would be true with Anglo students.
Right.
What you don't have in the demographic statistics are statistics around poverty, and you would see almost a complete overlay.
And can I give it? Because I have it here. I'm a dork. I have it here.
Sure.
Because again, you speak the truth. Economically disadvantaged students were meeting or exceeding expectations in English at 35%.
Yeah.
That's right around the Latino numbers and African American numbers.
So this is where it is not about that one particular demographic group has the potential, more potential than the other. What it means is that when students are living in poverty, they are no less capable, and we should set expectations at an equally high rate. What we have to do is make sure that the supports are there, and we have to make sure that the supports are there in terms of instruction, but also in terms of wraparound services.
And let me ask you if the implementation of the local control funding formula, which provides additional support for students or districts that serve economically disadvantaged, has that helped?
Yes, it's helped, and that's why you see the improvement, and we expect the improvement to accelerate. But let me say this, it is about money, but it's also about mindset. And we have to make sure that we have a mindset about our students largely living in poverty and in economic and racial segregation, that their dreams and their potential is just as important as the dreams of any student.
Now, I believe that our teachers at LAUSD have that mindset.
I do too.
I believe it.
I do too.
But to the kids?
Well, the important thing is that if all the adults around a child have that mindset, a child will have that mindset. Children get our messages very, very clear. They know from the moment that we start interacting with them what we believe about them and how much we believe in them. So every adult that is interacting with our students who are trying to move these numbers, but also trying to move their dreams, has to remember dreams hang in the balance. And that's all of us. That's educators especially, but it's everybody who cares about the future of Los Angeles.
I want to talk about our teachers.
Yes.
Because look, they're on the front line.
They are.
And it's stunning to consider that we are facing a teacher shortage. Yeah. I mean, the numbers are downright mind-boggling, that unless we address this issue immediately, we are not going to have enough teachers to teach the 6 million plus public school students we have in our state.
Yes. I'm a teacher.
You are.
And it's the greatest job I've ever had. It's the only job I ever really wanted. And we have to be able, as all of us now in public life and in leadership, we have to be the broadcasters of the positive career of teaching. We have to get out of the blame game as it relates to our teachers, and we have to create systems in which teachers who want to work in communities where the challenges are the greatest have the most support. And that's support not only from the school district, but from the entire university system around the greater Los Angeles area and from the Los Angeles community.
His name is Steve Zimmer. He is the president of the LAUSD School Board. My name is Brad Pomerance. We are coming to you from the west side of Los Angeles. This is Local Edition.